So I happened to be riding around Salt Fork and really kind of taking it all in. I was over there camping with Monroe, that's Monroe County, Ohio, and Amy Copeland, and Teresa Fleer, and I think Carrie was there the day before, and that kind of thing. And it was kind of an uneventful, kind of vacation-y type of day. And I was there on a Saturday, and we camped out and stuff, and not really much happened that night or anything. But we're awake until late at night and stuff. And it was a cool time, like I said, like a vacation type deal. And I was going to places that I really wasn't that familiar with going to. And I was at a place, it was called, you told me the name of it.
Freedom Road?
Freedom Road, yes. And yeah, so I was down at the mud flats down there, and the dam, I think that sometimes they hold water back and sometimes they do release it. And at that point in time, a lot of the water had been released. And so it was a mud flat, and it was about, it was many, many, many acres of mud flat. So I just decided I'd go down there and walk around. And so I went down to the parking lot, and I went through the woods, and I went down there, and I started walking around, and I was like, hey, there's a print. And I was like, wow, that's cool. And I was checking it out, and so I was like, well, there's got to be a few more. And I look, and there's one. And there's one. And there's and individuals. I mean, there was tons. There was probably, what I would say about was 400, 450 tracks down there. I mean, they were everywhere down there. And there were distinct individuals that I was following in this area. The one footprint I found was about the same as mine. And it was, I would say, probably like 4 times as deep as mine, maybe 3 times, 4 times. I mean, granted, they could have been done when the mud was wetter than when I was there. But that being said, they were so distinct, they were so much deeper, I mean so much deeper than mine, that it really led me to believe that whatever it was on top of those feet, they were something that was really, really, it was more voluminous than me. I mean, the strides were about, like 5 to 6 foot long, of the older ones. And it was so cool because there was like, the baby ones were the most apt to be in the water. The older ones were kind of the guardians, that they were like making sure everything was all right. And then I think that the mature ones were in the woods, because I never did find really the Mongo footprint, but I found like anywhere from like say a size 14 down. And but they were everywhere, and they were all over the place. And like I said, the little ones were in the water more than they weren't. It was all over the place too. I mean, oh my, the amount of acreage of the mud flat, I would say, was approximately like the size of Hasbrook's Pond or something. I mean, so it's very, very, very large. Actually, I would have to also say that when I observed the mud flat, me not being from there, and me like having experience with what our terrain is around here, when I started walking out there, and I got out there quite a good ways, and I was like, I don't know if I should be out here, because I had the feeling of, like, say, Hasbrook's gravel pit. The guys that fell, that were duck hunting over there, that the fire department had to come and rescue them out of there. I kind of had a little bit of that in my mind. I was like, is this anything that I could really get stuck in? And I was like, it felt kind of solid, so I just kept going. But if I would have got stuck in that mud, I'd probably still be there right now because it's so huge and stuff. But it was just cool, and you know, I saw the clams that were by the tracks and stuff, and you could almost surmise that maybe there was clam eating going on while they're going, you know, making the tracks and stuff. As far as the clams that I had saw, you really couldn't tell if they were just freshly harvested or if they had been there a while. I'm not well versed enough in the clam world, as we say. I really couldn't say, but I can say one thing, like they were kind of all in the same area just about. Could have been a bird, but it also could have been Bigfoot. It was good to see, and like some of my Facebook friends said, even Jack Warren said, he's like, you know, it's good to see there's a young population there, which that was very profound, and I mean, it was very apropos.
In the Cryptovania Facebook group, David Elvin Wickham writes about Tommy's Freedom Road find. This is not an opinion, but would like to express that there is a large Amish population around Salt Fork. Many of the Amish will fish at the lake and some do not wear shoes. Respect your research, just adding a possibility.
I think David brings up a good point, and I don't necessarily think that it was Amish, but it's cool that he brings it out. That would be a tall order, I think, but it's an interesting point, and that is something that needs to be brought up. It would have to be something with some decent mass to take and have its footprints underwater and then come on land and then appear deeper than what my tracks are. I think that's what I think I know. But as far as the footprints went, I think that they were so much deeper than mine, that they are so much more distinct than mine. I think what that says was that was something that was so much heavier than I was, and I think a lot of people would agree with that also. I tell the people that I camp with and stuff over there from time to time, I was like, you know, I don't really know if you understand that, like, the only place I go besides my home is Salt Fork. I mean, yeah, I'm down there quite a bit. Yeah, it's if I am ever going to move from this area, the only other place I would ever move is Southern Ohio, because that place is just awesome, awesome.
See you coming from a mile away. No need to see you anymore today. Sunsets behind the hills, I can't wish it back. Feels like I've been here once before. I fell right down to the ground. One thing about you, you stay the same. Don't wanna be the only one, be the one caught looking like a fool. Don't wanna live with it, don't like the taste of it. walk away from this life I love. Got down on my knees and kissed the stars above. Don't wanna be the only one, be the one caught looking like a fool.